Most tax pros leave a message.
It's Jane. I'm moving on to a TurboTax expert who beat your price. Adam Devine, tell him how I feel.
Hey, tax pro, she's been thinking twice. Best believe TurboTax will beat your price. This is a tax break.
Switch to a TurboTax Live expert and we'll beat what you paid your pro last tax season. Make the switch at TurboTax.com/beatyourprice. TurboTax full service only. Sign up by 12/20/2024 and file by 4/1/2025. Full details at TurboTax.com/beatyourprice.
ElectraCast.
Please note, today's episode contains depictions of self-harm and topics that some listeners may find disturbing. If you or anyone you know is struggling with mental health, distress, including thoughts of suicide, substance abuse, or emotional distress, we ask that you call or text 988 or visit 988lifeline.org. Free help is available 24/7. And for the most part, I think I had to fight for myself. And that was my absolute commitment because I've been fighting till now, you know, and even though I'm like all sad about it or emotional, I'm so emotional about it. I'm super grateful because, you know, I realize like more doors are opening, more is coming. And it's like life is up and down and it goes real down real hard, but you keep pushing. You keep fucking pushing and then you see the light. Welcome to Unapologetically Fab,
where we take you on a journey of discovery as we collectively explore how to stay fab.
And live this life by our own design without apologies. I'm Stefany Baclaan.
And I'm Eden Alpert.
Unapologetically Fab, Season 2. Yo, we're here. Can you believe we're at Season 2?
No, I can't. I'm shocked. I mean, we're still listening to Season 1, so I'm like, wow, this is Season 2. I'm excited.
We have a lot of guests coming on this season. People were trying to overbook, right? They were just...
I have a list for the next season already, you know? People are like, I want to be on, I want to talk, and I love that. Yes, talk.
Yeah, so thank you for everybody who has supported us for Season 1 so far and wants to be on Season 2, and we are going to bring this, virtually soon.
Hopefully, yeah, and make everything.
Yeah, the good, the bad, the ugly. We want to know what you think because, you know, somebody asked me, working in this industry, you know, doing a podcast is completely us. And one of my friends from high school, she says, wow, I wish I had the confidence to do that. And I didn't really think about, I don't know, I was like, oh yeah, me and Eden, we're going to do all this stuff. But then, you know, writing, like going through the episodes and meeting with our guests now, it's really become super, super personal.
It's personal, and you do a lot of this producing and the work, and I sit back and let you do the writing. I'm more the person who's like, I like to read, if I don't know you, information about you, but then I don't like to plan questions. So our questions are planned, which is cool, but we always go left or right of our questions and make them really authentic. And that's what I love. Like, even though they're right in front of us, it's not the same question, but it's the same idea. And I think it works really well that we're kind of doing it like that. Like, I never thought of being nervous about doing this either. So when I hear someone's to have the courage to do that, I'm like, oh, we're not on camera. So I feel like it's kind of...
Let me tell you, actually, coming in to shoot this season, I was actually nervous coming in. I was nervous last night because I started thinking about it, and I didn't sleep because I was thinking of, oh my gosh, did I get this? Did I, all the production
you're the producer.
of it. Right? I'm like the 30,000 hats that I wore for this. But I was thinking, am I, again, confident enough to do what I did last? Because I think, I don't know, a lot has been changed since last year. I think I've even dived deeper into knowing who I am this year and losing people this year because people that have fell off. And like they say, when you grow or when your frequency changes, you outgrow people. And so I feel that pain inside a little bit. And then I think like last year, definitely I had a loss. Sponto passed from Venice. And I think that's when I decided that like I kind of stopped drinking, and I just kind of wanted to like learn more things and be a little bit more proactive in paying attention to myself.
Yeah. And what's one of those things that you've been learning that like freaks me out that I'm so like admiring? Do you know what
flying? Trying to be a pilot.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh. I fly with this guy named Mike, and he is amazing. He's so patient but impatient with me at the same time, but he really is like, you're a fast learner, so we're just gonna put you in there. We're just gonna throw you in there. So I take my notes, I do all my stuff. I'm not clinically enrolled in the flight academy yet. My intention is actually to do my instrument work. Downloaded some apps and things online. So I'm really trying to do my own learning process. So when I start training, they think I'm really smart.
I love seeing a woman fly. I don't know why it's what it is about a woman, but it's just awesome. When I saw you doing that, I'm like, is she really learning to fly? I just don't know. And then I saw you do a landing. You did a landing. And he's like, a little more to the left, a little more to the right. I'm like doing this in the house. I'm like feeling like I'm doing the landing.
I know, do you hear him like too tight? Your grip's too tight, ease up. Like,
and then I start doing
I think I'm holding my breath. And I think whenever we go up, like that one time he's like, you sit in the pilot seat. And that was my first time in his seat. And he's like, you're flying. And I didn't want to fly back in the dark. And I was like, oh, can I just be in the passenger? And he's like, no. And I said, no. And I was like, I don't want this anxiety. You know what I mean? Because it's anxiety ridden. And you've got to like keep your composure. And when bad things, no bad thing happened, but he does a little bit of tricks with us while we're in the air that could be bad.
Makes you feel like
one time he
down there
stalled the engine.
Oh.
He stalled the engine completely, stalled the engine, and we had no engine. And he was teaching me what I learned. Like, there's a circumference around the plane that shows you where you can land. So you have, the higher you are, you kind of can glide a little bit and find the place where you can land. So, I'm sweating bullets, but I'm trying to be super calm and collect and unapologetically fab in the air when I'm
you are. I mean, that just blew my mind. I know that we've had a lot. I think that's probably a calm for you because I know you've had a lot in this last year, which I'll bring up. We both have, with myself and my daughter's fiance, because she also got engaged last year, having throat cancer and coming through that and the ups and downs of that. And I know people want to know a little bit more about you and I. That's some of the feedback I've been getting that, at our beginning show, we dove a little bit, but not a lot.
Because everyone doesn't have any idea, really. We met on the film.
Right.
Oh, speaking of, I had the shirt. I had the shirt.
At my dad's concert.
I was supposed to change into her. Wait.
So Stefany went, let me just back up. Stefany went to go see my father, Herb Alpert, from the Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass, and so much more, which I may not have mentioned much in the first series, for our first episodes. And he is going to be 89 this year, and so he started his first show again at the Northridge Performing Arts Center.
That was his first show back in?
For the year.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
For 2024, his last show was in New York at Thanksgiving. At the Carlisle.
Oh, yay. So I went to the first
all year,
show.
Right? You went to the first show of the year, and I couldn't even get in. Lo and behold. And, of course, I get on social media, and there's Stefany wearing one of my dad's. They posted all these pictures from the first night, and there you are wearing on my dad's face in social media. You're in one of the pictures in your white boots and the white shirt, and they got you.
Oh, yes, because when I put it on, right?
Yeah, they took a picture.
Some people kept coming up to me.
They're
Can we take your... Was I like this?
Here.
Was I like this?
Yeah.
Where's that photo at?
It's on Facebook.
That's funny. I did not know where that photo is.
Yeah, it's on Facebook.
Can I tell you, it was the cutest thing. There was the cutest elder women, and everybody wanted to talk to me. And everybody was just like, I'm so excited that we're seeing him. And I would ask them stories. And somebody didn't see him till the last time they saw him was 1966.
Ooh,
right?
The year I was born.
And I was like, oh, really?
Hi, it's me, Flo, the annoying clairvoyant from Ghost Hampton, the podcast. We had the time of our lives, or in my case, death, giving all our listeners the willies this summer. You missed Ghost Hampton? No, we can't allow that. Now, all episodes of Ghost Hampton are running on ElectraCast Media everywhere for free. Ghost Hampton, go there to be frightened. Stay there to laugh. ElectraCast.
Life is hard, but finding a really great podcast makes the days go by so much easier. Hi, my name is Blue Telusma. I'm a writer, an emotional intelligence coach, and the host of Humanize with Blue Telusma, a podcast where we believe that when you humanize everyone in the room, a great conversation is almost guaranteed. Join us every week here on ElectraCast as me and my guest co-hosts unpack big topics and interview even bigger personalities with a sense of humor and a dash of mischief. If you're looking for a new best friend in your head, we've got you covered.
ElectraCast.
So it was pretty cool to go to your dad's show. So we have a topic to talk about, which kind of what we're talking about now. Today, we're going to talk about the discovery of commitment, a key part of healthy relationships, friends, family, romantical, that mandates loyalty, a sense of safety, and portrays you in a positive light. So what does commitment mean to you today and for us right now?
Well, we talked about this the other day. We try not to talk too much off here, otherwise we get into these topics. But, I mean, commitment is the show, sticking with it and doing what we said we were going to do and following through. And to me, commitment is you get involved in something and you make a commitment to that and you are true to what you say you're going to do. And when you can't commit to something, I feel like it means you don't commit to anything in your life. So, committing to being there for everything that Sean went through and everything my daughter went through and stuff you were going through, when you're needed and you're going to commit to a workout, right?
Yeah.
Commit. I mean, it's hard to do that. I know it's 2024. It's the first month. I'm wondering how many people out there are done with that commitment. It'll last like a month or two, right?
I actually started my commitment in December.
Yeah.
Because I want to start and go into the new year and keep doing it and keep the consistency. So I already built a pattern in December that I was doing it.
That's great, because it's hard, even for me, I get busy. Mm-hmm. So I know every Thursday at 10:15 is my EMS workout, which we'll talk about later. And it's a 25-minute workout that's like working out 4 times in a week. So now I'm trying to get back onto my commitment of the Pilates twice a week. And I don't want to stray from that, but I have to commit to myself 100%. So to me, commitment is first committing to myself that I'm going to stick to it. I have to have a vision board too. Helps me with commitment.
Do you?
Yeah, and I need to redo it because I see it every morning before I walk in. It's almost like,
that's
words of
interesting.
affirmation. It reminds me that I really want to do that. And sometimes, we can get so distracted. We forget, what are you committed to? Other than your love life. My husband, I'm committed to. My daughter, I'm committed to my family. But what am I committed to for myself? And I think we forget, you have to commit to yourself.
Explain to me your vision board, though. Do you actually, make it?
Yeah, so I did this at a Tony Robbins event years ago. And the one thing, I was heading towards the end of the year. And at the end of the year, skydiving was on there. And I was like, oh, dude, I got 10 days to get this done. And once I saw it on the vision board, I made an appointment and I went.
Wait, you went skydiving?
Yeah, this is 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
It was awesome. But so what you do is you take a big cardboard board and you get all the magazines like food, decorating, travel, blah, 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 jewelry. Do you want to get engaged? And you put everything you want for the coming year on that board. And by the end of the year, you hope you've gotten everything. It's
Has it worked for you? Has it worked for you in the past? I've never
haven't done it in a year.
We should do a vision board party.
I do it with other girlfriends.
That would be interesting.
It's fun to sit because you just cut pictures. I get Oprah magazines, inspirational yoga, workout.
It's like arts and crafts.
And you don't beat yourself up if you don't get it all freaking done. I don't go there. Okay. But I try it.
I mean, it's set with intention. It's really cool. It's intention.
It's affirmation, too. There's words of affirmation that are on there, because I used to have those, I am a badass, even if I don't feel like it.
So how are you?
How are you? Let's flip that question around on you. What does commitment mean to you, and what does that look like for you?
like you said, commitment is personal. It is personal. And I've been taking everything really personally this year, or from the ends of last year to this year, I think. I don't know. I think I got a little bit dark for a moment. And I seem to talk about my sadness and darkness a lot, right? For being unapologetically fab. But that's because, like, I'm fucking honest. I own, like, you have to go through darkness to find the light. And I know, like, I'm a light to a lot of people. But at the same time, like, it's draining. Mm-hmm. It's draining, and I need to take a recharge, and I need to reevaluate who I am now and what am I doing. You know what I mean? I feel like now that I think about it, my commitment to myself has, the last 3 years, like I did, hot girl summer. I went into solitude with my parents and did healing with my mom. And I just posted her birthday picture, and I said, I think one of the most incredible journeys yet with my mom is healing and breaking cycles together. And then showing my son that we were able to do that. And, my son and I also had a weird time because we were both in different spaces, right? And it's hard because we didn't know how to communicate. We're still learning to process everything, and I think he's still learning to process. But I think what's great is we all came together, and my mom apologized for anything that she may have done and kind of became aware of it. And my son and I went through, our apologies, and, like, we're gonna do better. Mm-hmm. So I think it's all about when you come together, when people work as a team.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes it so much easier when people listen.
Well, it does. And it's interesting because you went through some stuff this last year, and you brought it up that you went to not just a dark side, a really dark side that concerned me. And in that time, it was something I never even thought you would go to because you're always such a light, which
Jesus
is
Christ,
draining.
am I gonna cry?
You know what I'm saying? When someone's so happy all the time, that's bullshit. Do you know what I'm like? I don't mean bullshit like you're bullshit. I mean, like, it's not real that you are a light and everyone's like, she's just so happy, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is you're freaking human, and you went down a little bit of a rabbit hole. And I've been there. I believe we've all been there at one point in our lives. Some people maybe not quite as intense, but I was in a non-functioning state at one point in my life. I don't know that I wanted to disappear from the planet, but it was pretty, non-functioning is not good. But it's good for people to hear this because it's human nature and it's a cycle.
But see, I was functioning. I was happy. I was smiling.
No, there were a couple days that you weren't functioning.
Well, a couple days, but I functioned in my entire life of still work and still this and still went here and still did all this. It's like Robin Williams, or they talk about even Twitch, right? Yeah. And he was completely functioning and nobody knew. And I think I'm kind of grateful that I was able to say, hey, you guys, I'm in a really fucking dark place right now, and I'm ready to check the fuck out. Like, I said to my family even, I'm ready to check the fuck out in a way. Woo, this is hard to talk about.
Oh. Let it out, baby.
This is really hard to talk about. Woo, that I don't even know if I don't know if I can talk about this.
If you don't want to, you don't have to.
I just felt like I don't want people to feel bad for me. I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I didn't want people to I didn't want anyone to try to save me or help me. I just wanted the space because I think that's what we need.
Yeah.
We don't need anyone to come be the savior, but you need the space to go, this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm doing everything I can for the people around me. I'm doing everything I can to stay here. Mm-hmm. I'm doing everything I can to fight this. I need the support, but I don't want anyone to feel bad.
Yeah.
I just wanted you all to know, it was just, shit, I can't believe I'm going to expose all this right now.
But there's no way we're not going to check up on you, and you can say go, but, with everything that's gone on in this past year with others that we know that we've lost.
Yeah.
We can't just hear something like that and not go, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, death is really hard for me. Yeah. And then when we lost Sponto, I've known him since he was 15 years old, and we weren't together every day, but I supported everything that he stood for, and a lot of the world knew, and I think that was just the breaking point of one of my friends had said, all of our boys are dying. Wonder if it's better over there. Oh. And that was the breaking point for me of is it better there? Is it better to just be off this fucking planet? Because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I have a huge tribe, a huge support that stood by me. And for the most part, I think I had to fight for myself. Mm-hmm. And that was my absolute commitment because I've been fighting till now, you know, and even though I'm like all sad about it or emotional, I'm so emotional about it. I'm super grateful because, you know, I realize like everything that we're doing and now focusing, more doors are opening, more is coming. And it's like, life is up and down and it goes real down, real hard, but you keep pushing. You keep fucking pushing and then you see the light. And I see the light at the end of the tunnel and I'm happy genuinely. And I'm finally at a place, like I think we talked about last season, how I didn't like being home by myself. I didn't like, now that I was single and I was home alone, it was almost unbearable. And now I love being by myself.
That's awesome.
Love being home and just being, it's taken a long time to get there. We both look.
What's that?
So let's get into, because you've also had some emotional things. I mean, we both were going through that emotional thing, your family.
Sean, last year, this time, was diagnosed with throat cancer. And Sean is my now future son-in-law, my daughter's fiance. And he was at the time about to be moving here full time. And because they have socialized medicine there, we had to make a decision how that was all going to work out. Were we going to bring him here and help him because he's not a U.S. citizen and help, financially get him through it here? Or was he going to go back there and do treatments, there? And it's covered there. It's unbelievably expensive to do it here. Radiation, chemo, the surgeries. We got a team together here through the help of my dad, and that team spoke with the team in Canada, and they all loved each other, and they were all kind of new of each other, specializing in this throat cancer. He calls it tonsil cancer, but it's from HPV. It's woken up from HPV. It's a sexually transmitted disease that probably all of us have, but now they have a shot for it.
Or something like that.
Anyone under 40 could have gotten a shot for it. Anyway, he's a singer-songwriter. So this, on top of everything else, deciding he was going to stay in Canada and have treatments there, getting my daughter there every other week to be with him, and worrying about whether or not this signed singer-songwriter was going to continue to have a career with his voice. Cut to now, he's in remission, no cancer in his body whatsoever, in his blood, and he just dropped a new single, Bigger Than the Night, and it's a killer song, and his voice sounds better than ever. So we came through it, but it was not just like me going through emotion. It was Kylie and her fiance that I introduced her to, who I love and adore, that I've known since he's 23. So, I mean, it was a lot, but we came through it, and
I mean, you were emotional. I mean, we would talk.
I was a mess. You don't ever want to think, what if? I don't think, what if he doesn't make it through? I think he will make it through. That's where my headspace is. I never once thought he wasn't going to be fine. I really didn't. And then my daughter's such a nurturing empath that she was his light. And he realized during that process that he wanted to marry her. Now he's back here full time. They're living together. They have a beautiful place in the valley. And, they're engaged and they set a wedding date and everything's great. I'm busier than ever. Life is crazy, and I have nothing to complain about.
What do we have going on this year? We have so much going on this year. I don't even know what else to say right now.
I mean, I'm just going to let everyone know, because I know a lot of people were asking me more about myself. So we are doing this podcast today from my restaurant, Vibrato Grill and Jazz, that I am partners with my father, Herb Alpert, in. It's a live music supper club, and we are in our 20th year this year.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so we're going to do some awesome party, thanking everyone that supported us over the years. But it's been a journey to make this place what it is. It wasn't like this at all. When we started, I didn't have the ability or the power back then to run it the way that I do. And I've got a great team, and I love being here. So that's a little bit more background about me. I'm married. I have a husband named Brian. I got a daughter named Kylie, who's 28, and a dog. named Halo.
And a dog.
And a dog. And I do a lot of other things. I'm a huge philanthropist. I sit on 4 nonprofit boards, which over time we'll talk about more of that. But I'm just trying to give everyone a little bit of stuff about me, and let's give them a little bit about what you do when we're not here.
Oh, man.
There's a lot.
I hustle. I was in Atlanta. I first AD'd a film. I was also the UPM. And then I also had an actor part, right? I was the only person in that film that didn't kill anyone. So I'm kind of bummed about that.
I think you needed to.
I'm like, can we just write her in as like a sweet person, and then can I just kill someone once, please? Like, they had all these ammos and these guns. It was just super crazy watching this film. It was like kind of a set it off type thing. So I'm hustling all over the place. We're not on strike anymore, although I don't really know what's going on with that. I don't have information.
Seems like
on
there's
that.
no work.
What are we saying? Oh, already?
Yeah.
Has it already been that long?
We had a lot to
Jesus.
cover.
Well, we had that emotional outbreak. I'm very sorry, everybody, but you know what?
Please don't apologize for that.
Yeah,
Because
you know what? I'm unapologetic.
Exactly. And that is fucking human. So that's just raw.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Thank you for that, because
Yeah.
this is exactly why we're here. Unapologetically Fab is owning everything that we've been through and that what makes us here, you know what I mean? And
if you didn't cry, I wouldn't think you were human. So, I mean, that's just your emotion, and let it roll, girl. Let it roll.
you know what I learned also about that whole thing? You know, it's good for people out there who suicide is a real big thing. I learned, my brother, he committed suicide in 2011.
No.
And in October, I learned that his daughter committed suicide the same way. And I never said anything to anyone. Also, wow, this is brand new. And I don't know how to talk about it because we weren't close. His mom was really mean to me when I was young, so
Is this a half-brother?
Yeah, okay. From my dad.
Okay.
And I was, the mom was really mean to me when I was young, so I did never want her to talk to me ever again. And when my father died, she tried to reach out, and I said, don't. Like, now my brother's gone, now my dad's gone.
Yeah.
Don't reach out to me, because we have no reason to, right? So I just found out my niece did the same thing, and I didn't know how to reach out. I just sent a little message, but it's such a weird space because I don't have any right, I feel. But at the same time, like, look at the family pattern. So that, I think, also was like, that was weird. That's just weird to know that that's where I was putting my friends at and my family. And then now I'm on the other side of trying to be consoling about something that I actually thought about. So in a weird way, I just, any listeners out there, like, we all go through this shit, and it's about coming out at the end and telling your people, like, I feel this way, and hopefully the majority of people that give a shit, and you learn who drops you learn who it's too much for, you learn, but that shouldn't make a decision on what you do, but just talk about it.
Yeah.
I think. And so if I can reach anyone out there, I'm still unapologetic because I'm here and because I went through that and I know how that feels. And I'm grateful for it, actually.
You should be.
I'm grateful.
Meaning I'm grateful you're still here. I'm grateful you're here. I'm grateful you shared it and that you had the courage to share it, because it takes a lot of courage to do that.
Yeah, it's a really hard one to wrap. I don't want to be so depressed on this fucking episode.
We're not depressing. I know what you're talking about.
No, I think that's something important to share, and I was scared to share it, but love is love. I just, we gotta love everybody.
That's why you got we got our friend. We got people coming in like the foot nanny. She'll massage all that crap right out of you.
Yeah, we have some great guests for this season.
Yeah.
We have the foot nanny, you said.
The foot nanny, Gloria. You'll hear from her. We have a workout, wellness, healing person,
Expert.
Darcy.
Yeah. You know what? We have our first male that's going to be on, our gentleman. His name is Mike Hill. He's a Fox Sports studio host. So we're going to now incorporate men because we think it's vitally important that we share their point of view in the same space as us, because when you're comfortable with yourself, man or woman, like, you're unapologetic still. So I'm interested to hear from that perspective when we get to that show.
And I think it's important because the men that we're bringing on, they're fantastic men. And they're men, women, and younger. We're going to bring younger people in, under 40, we think are unapologetic. I mean, that's what this is about.
I think season 1, we were like, oh, we're gonna be this and we're gonna be this, right? And then as we started moving and people really wanted, we had a lot of
men are
male.
liking the show.
Yeah, I had my male friends like, oh, it really kept me engaged. I was, a bunch of women just right? And you think, oh, that's really annoying, but it's.
Yeah, I also heard that they like learning about, like, friends of mine that know certain people, and they're like, oh my God, I learned so much about Lisa. So it's also learning more about other people,
So, yes, we'll wrap up here. Stay tuned on the next episode of UF with the gorgeous Zulay Haneo, actress, producer, and CEO of Modern Muse that honors the brand's 4 pillars: soul, beauty, health, and society. I'd like to end with a quote, as I always do. Commitment is what transforms the promise into reality. It is the words that speak boldly of your intentions. Stay intentional. Mahalo. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
This episode is dedicated to my dear friend, Derek Barbosa, also known as Chino XL, a legendary lyricist, a wordsmith, a proud girl dad, and a beautiful person. In July, he took his own life, and the pain of his absence is something I feel every day. Chino was always there for me, even when I was ready to check out, pulling me back from the edge when I needed it most. His legacy as an artist and a friend lives on, but the world is less bright without him. I love and miss him more than words can say. If you're struggling, please reach out. There is always hope, even in the darkest moments. For Chino, my brother, and my niece, who is only 13, for all of us, please keep going.
You've been listening to Unapologetically Fab, a production of ElectraCast Media. I'm your host and producer, Stefany Baclaan.
And I'm Eden Alpert, co-host and producer.
Our executive producers are Mark Netter
and Peter Rafelson.
Our sound engineers are Marcus Campito and Lauren Ritter. If you like our show, which I hope you do, please rate and review us
wherever you listen to podcasts.
ElectraCast. Dreaming of the perfect event or longing for a clutter-free space? I'm Stefany with I'm with Steph, where your vision becomes a reality. From magical weddings to transformative home organizing, we bring you expertise and passion to every project. Whether you're planning a grand celebration or seeking peace through organization, we tailor our services to meet your unique needs. I'm with Steph. To explore our services and connect with me directly, visit I'mWithSteph.com. Mention ElectraCast for a 20% discount.
Hi, I'm Mark. And I'm Peter. We're the founders of ElectraCast Media, bringing you great podcasts like Nightmare Road Stories, Tech Talk Revolution, and Bodacious Minds.
ElectraCast networks include Ruby for female empowerment, the Best Business Network, and GPN for geopolitics. We built this company to create community and amplify diverse voices, and we really appreciate your support.
So, keep listening to ElectraCast podcasts and hear the culture.
ElectraCast.